Welcome everybody to our meeting
Yes,
today.
just FYI, we are on video, so the cameras are behind us and the recording all the information that we discussed today.
Yeah, there's a sign issue going around, which I think it's perfect.
So you have a quorum of them?
Yes, we have a quorum, and I'll do roll call. Maria?
I could do the roll call and
Huh?
He'll
You'll
do
do
roll
it?
call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
John Puig,
Here.
Maria Suárez de Olivares,
Here.
Raúl Reyes, Esmeralda Armady Hereford,
Present.
Roberta Jean Ceballos,
Present.
Robert Reyes,
Present.
Valeria Vega, and Karen Elizondo.
Present.
Chair, you do have quorum.
So you have a quorum, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
So, I guess I read the minutes?
Just,
Well, everyone has a copy of.
Oh, I have the agenda, sorry, that would help, right?
Yeah, the agenda, it's in your folder, and the minutes also.
Okay, so, if we read over the minutes?
So everyone has a copy of the minutes, so.
Yeah.
Chief, that minutes is read. There's a motion. No? There's a second.
Made a motion to
Okay.
accept the minutes?
Second.
I wasn't here, so I.
Neither was I, but for.
Oh, okay, I'll second them.
Okay, thank you.
You have a motion and second, then?
I have a motion to second. Everybody, any discussion? Anybody in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Motion.
Motion passes. Okay, the citizen comments. Citizens are required to fill out a witness card and submit it to the chairperson no later than 12:15 on March 14, 2019, and identify themselves at the meeting before speaking to the corporation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. No more than 3 persons will be allowed to speak on any side of an issue. Should there be more than 3 people who wish to speak on a particular issue, they need to select not more than 3 representatives to speak for them, and the presiding officer may limit the public comments further in the interest of an orderly meeting. Speakers may not pass their minutes or to any other speaker. Comments should be relevant to corporation business and delivered in a professional manner. No derogatory remarks will be permitted. And next is the staff liaison report regarding fiscal year 2019-2020.
Madam Chair, Arturo Garcia, I'm your liaison for the third-party funding committee. The working staff member that assists me with this whole process is Mr. Manuel De Luna, our third-party funding committee liaison. So he does the brunt of the work. We've coordinated this initial startup meeting just to make you aware of the process. Manuel's going to go over some of the improvements that we've done this year to the application process, the timeline, and those issues. Obviously, we always want to remind you when we are out in proposal, we have some new members now. The proposal period starts this Sunday, right, Manuel?
Yes.
So from that point on to when we receive and review them, you should not have any contact with any of applicants that are submitting. So you can review your ethics guidelines to just see and guide yourself. If you have any legal concerns or questions, our legal department is always available for you for any questions. The board can invite the legal department to one of its meetings. They usually attend with us. It's just depending if the board requests their attendance. Manuel, yes, ma'am.
You know, in the past, we had to sign a disclosure statement so that there would be no conflicts of interest. Do we do that every year, or just the ones that when we came on board?
I believe that's when you come on board, you sign up a disclosure statement, but we'll check just to make sure that everything's kosher with that.
Thank you.
Basically, Manuel, you want to start off?
Yes, of course. Okay, so everyone has a copy of the presentation. That's right there, that one. Okay. So basically, you go on the second page. It's basically to show the committee the current members that we have. And then we can go to the third page where we have the funding requirements for general fund. You have to be a 501c3 nonprofit status, must meet a municipal purpose, and must meet one of the requirements: support education, promote economic development, and promote health and welfare. Continue to the next page. We have the funding requirements for the hotel motel tax occupancy. You must be a 501c nonprofit status. Every expense must be directly enhance and promote tourism and convention and hotel industry. And you must meet one of the 9 requirements by state law. As you can see, we name them here 1 through 9. Improvements, maintenance of the convention center or visitor information center, convention registration, advertising promotion, promotion of the arts, historical restoration or preservation, sporting events, enhancement of sports facilities, tourist transportation system, and signage promoting sites and attractions.
We do have a motion that was passed by council, and we'll email it to the entire board.
Yeah.
That describes some of the basic needs and priorities that council has established from the past. It hasn't changed, there hasn't been any change to it. So you all are keenly aware once you start your review process, just to, the current members that have been on the board kind of are familiar with it, but like, I think it's your first year, so just identify it. You want to go over the
Yes,
actual
now-
process that we have for this year?
Yes, now the application process, or schedule that we're gonna follow this year, March 17th, it's gonna be our first publication notice, followed with March 24th, our second publication notice. We're gonna have an application training to all the interested applicants on April 8th, and the application's due date will be May 1st, 2019. This year, we're gonna go digitize the process. Everything's gonna be submitted online. So starting Sunday, applications are going to be available online for any interested applicant, okay? We're going to have general fund, we're going to have hotel motel for them to go in there and apply. So everything's going to be online, okay? Not.
So they can actually apply online?
Yes, yeah, and be able to submit. Once they submit, they're going to be able to get a copy of the actual application and save it on their files.
We're in essence going paperless for the application process. It's going to provide us a lot of different little avenues. We're going to be able to see lively who's started their application, who hasn't. We do, in case you all are interested, there's been concerns in the past that we don't do enough reach out to the current and put it out. But we put it on the website, we advertise it in the paper, we
Okay,
send out
it's gonna be
emails to everybody.
on the website.
So if they want to reach out to Manuel, they can reach out to Manuel for the application process. It's going to be a little bit different this year with the electronic submittal process. So, but we expect it to be something good because it's arranged in a way that if you don't check off on a checklist,
That should continue.
yeah, and it also allows him to kind of do a preliminary review of the application.
And we don't have to wait until the due date to start reviewing the application.
Yeah, so in case we see an applicant missing something, we're gonna be a little bit proactive and let them know that this is what they're missing or whatever. But it should be a little bit easier, I hope.
No, it's gonna be-
So explain to us how it is, you used to provide for us the big binders, and we were all on the same
What-
page, right? So now, computerized?
Yes, we're gonna have laptops for you guys.
Okay.
Whenever we
Cool.
meet, I contact IT, and IT is gonna provide us laptops for everyone.
We should be able to give it to you in digital too, so
Yeah.
if you want a thumb drive and you wanna put it in your computer, review
What-
them,
what-
and you just develop a score sheet and you score them individually.
And
so-
basically what's gonna happen, every submission is gonna give me a PDF file, which I'm gonna save. And it's gonna be on your criteria, if you want a USB or if you want an email, which I think a USB, each one having a USB would be
I think
better.
much easier.
You can go
yes.
at home and start evaluating
Yes.
those applications. It's gonna be a lot easier and more efficient.
We'll develop a score sheet for you all, so that way, if you're not attending the meeting, we'll bring it in, and then the committee can accept those scoring sheets for that individual. It'll facilitate a little bit. Sometimes, there's that issue that somebody can't come in,
Yeah.
and
For any
so.
type of review.
So you could accept the score sheet even though we're not here?
Well, I would hope that you would attend, but in case, that's gonna be a committee decision to accept them if you're not here.
So we'll be notified when the applications are there for us to view, or?
Yes.
Yes. And what's gonna help us a lot is to prevent having 6 or 7 meetings. We're gonna go to maybe 4 or 5 meetings. So it's gonna be better for you.
More efficient.
More efficient. And a faster process for applicants too.
Well, if you provide us with the pen drives and there's.
Yes, you'll be provided.
And just
USBs and everything.
just so that you can understand too, the time that it takes for us to compile and
The
copy
notebooks.
and notebooks and paper savings.
And delivering them and all that.
Yes, and I mean, it's almost like a 2-week process for him to get all that stuff.
And I did let them know, like, hey, we're gonna go digital next year.
So you won't have to do it. That's super.
Yes.
Yeah, and it could be better for you guys.
Yes.
It's better.
And we're gonna be improving on the process. This was kind of like, we've been kind of working on it off and on for the past 4 months. And what we initially wanted to do was a little bit different than this, to where we would actually go really live, like a TurboTax type deal. And then you could log in with your login and you can already start looking. And so that's what we want to get to. But
Eventually
just
we'll
baby
get
steps right now. We're hoping it's gonna run a little bit better. We do anticipate some minor hiccups. But it's expected in establishing a new process.
And on April 8th, that we're gonna have that training, I'm gonna have IT, I'm gonna have legal, I'm gonna have risk management there to answer any questions that they might have. And we're gonna do it at the library, so they're gonna be able to access and start submitting and answer any questions for that.
And what's gonna be neat too is they'll be able to copy that same application or whatever, so resource-wise, it won't be so intense to do, all the legwork again every year. So we're trying to make it easy for everybody.
Let's also always remember backups, because look at what happened with Facebook yesterday.
I know, that was really
The computer sometimes.
No, yeah, we're gonna
have
have
their
our
hiccups.
backups, and it's gonna be in our server, so.
The good thing is we'll be able to identify, like, let's say, and advise the board, well, so-and-so started their application yesterday, the day before, but
Oh, yeah, so it's gonna be very
So
competitive.
that
Yes,
the
yes.
board can make decisions.
It's gonna be timestamped and it's
So,
gonna be.
I mean, that should be critical to, I think, if somebody's, taking their time or putting the necessary effort into getting an application.
That's good.
The only thing that we're gonna require for them is to basically use their email, organization's email, to be able to complete the application. You need to create an account with Google, not a Google email, but create an account with Google so you can be able to complete the application. Because it's gonna be through Google Forms. Google Forms, yeah, Google Drive. So it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and it's gonna help a lot. The committee will be very efficient and work faster.
And for you as a new member for us, once we receive those, what happens is, Manuel compiles them. We're gonna try to do some preliminary checks just to make sure we don't have any hiccups with anybody submitting incomplete stuff. So once we do that, they come in, we receive them. We have a acceptance meeting with the committee. The committee reviews and accepts all of them that came in. And then we give you all the forms. Basically you develop, we're going to try to schedule some timelines, or unless you want to leave that for another day, that's perfectly fine too. They have a scoring criteria where they review
Which is on the
and
third page.
There's an average score of the committee, and you have to have a passing grade of 70 to be considered for funding. So, and there's a score sheet that we have for all of them, and then, so you come up with a score of 80, somebody else is 70, somebody else is 90, then we average those numbers, so it must average over 70, and to pass up to what the board has done, and then it goes into the funding stage. So then on the funding stage, then the board considers, who are we giving what to and stuff like that. So it's a 2-step process, just in case you want to know how the board has handled it in the past. I would believe that the board wants to continue on with that same process at this point.
It was a good process.
It's worked so far. Anything else on that? Or anybody have any questions?
Any questions, discussion?
We need to pass a motion.
No,
Oh,
it's just an information.
Yeah, information
Okay.
for new members also.
We're always available in case you have any questions. Please call.
Okey-dokey. Number 6 is discussion and possible action regarding the selection of a chair and vice chair.
We wanted to put it out there since the meetings are starting. This is our initial startup. Are we missing anybody, Manuel?
But right now, District 3 is vacant.
Vacant.
But Mr. Reyes is absent and Ms. Vera Rivera is absent.
So I don't know if you all want to wait till you have the all members present, or if you all want to do it right now?
Because you
or
do have a
yes.
quorum.
You do have a quorum, it's up to this committee to decide what you want to do.
Yes, because, I mean, in my opinion, we might not have everybody the next meeting either, so.
Right now, what do we have?
Right now,
Ms.
Mr. Barrios?
We have Ms. Ceballos.
Ms. Amaya is actually the chair for the committee since she was last year's chair, but every year we honor
Yeah.
the committee's role.
But who's the
in
vice chair?
The vice chair, who was it?
Actually, it was Mr. Prig,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
and there's some meetings that he was absent that Ms. Ceballos took over, because we needed a chair for every meeting, and the vice chair basically was her, yeah,
Oh.
basically.
Well, my opinion is that we stay the same. I don't know.
Second, we would like to put that in
I
the form
move
of
that we
motion.
stay the same.
Well,
You make that motion.
Let's ask them if they want to continue.
Yeah.
No,
serving.
they have to.
Is it the same, or who's gonna be the chair?
I was actually thinking of resigning, but I may stay on. This new computer version looks like it may make it a lot easier, and I may be able to have more participation. You know, I live 40 miles out, so it's sometimes hard to get into meetings and stuff, so I may not resign. My wife is gonna be surprised, but.
So we would need a chair and a vice chair for the meeting, so.
So if anyone could.
So I make a motion and he seconded, so.
Well,
Well,
I guess we
yeah.
have to put the finer parts. Ms. Ceballos would be the chair and Mr. Prig the co-chair? Is that what we have decided? Yes. then-
The vice chair.
Okay,
would you
so,
like to put it-
Well, it was, so we have a motion on the table. I mean, if there's any more discussion,
Who's
it's chair.
I make the
Chair.
motion and he seconded.
Yes.
Okay. Just so
all
we
in
can-
favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Perfect.
Thank you. The next item is discussion and possible action regarding the scheduling of meeting dates for fiscal year 2019 and 2020.
And it's totally up to the board. Right now, if you look at the schedule.
Everyone has a copy of the budget calendar schedule?
Well, let me,
No.
just so you all understand, why we sometimes meet in the process, not sure if everybody understands why we kind of like sometimes say, well, we need to meet and we need to have numbers by this date. The city publishes a budget calendar, which for us as staff, our deadlines to meet, sometimes they flex a little bit, depending on, what issues pop up. But as you can see, these are internal deadlines, so I think in speaking with Mr. Gilberto Sanchez, our budget director, he said we have until when to submit the,
But basically our schedule that we're gonna follow, we're good to meet the.
so the applications are due what day?
May 1st.
May
May
1st.
1st?
May 1st, they're due.
So-
That's the last date they're gonna be able to submit.
So I would say we can maybe schedule a meeting in May at minimum,
I think,
or, so that way you guys can put your calendars too and already know.
I do wanna leave maybe 2 weeks to review, finalize any
Third
last
week in May,
things.
maybe?
So the 15th?
So after the 15th will be fine.
Yeah, that way you all accept the applications and we can actually give you.
So the 15th is a Wednesday.
Yes,
Okay.
15th is a Wednesday.
Okay, and so you would need to tell us whether you want that date and what time do you want it, in the afternoon or at noon or whatever is easier for you.
In the I would be able to, in the afternoon.
Like 5:30 or?
5:30? 5:30?
5:30?
On the 15th?
Yes. Okay.
At a minimum, we just need to schedule that
Come in
one.
that date anyway.
So we can already know the hard deadline for staff too. If you would like to wait to schedule after that, we're okay with it, unless you already want to schedule your review
Another
meetings
meeting, yeah.
after that.
Cause you're,
The 15th, will that be okay with you? Do you think you can have everything
Oh,
done by then?
yeah, the 15th will be fine for the committee to accept the applications.
Okay,
And then we'll need another meeting for them to review.
Well, yeah, well, the second, that's why I'm saying, at that meeting, they can decide on the schedule for the
For the
review
review,
process,
or,
or they can decide right now, however you guys want.
But
Do you have a timeline already?
but the timeline we're using is basically this one.
and so we said at 5:30?
So May 1st
Okay, where would it
is
be?
the due date, May 15th will be the date for the committee to accept the applications.
That
And
would
then
be the
maybe
recommendation.
another week to get all the applications on a USB for
And we
you.
could have maybe some hard numbers, maybe by June, mid-June, maybe give yourself 30 days to review and make a recommendation.
It was mostly June that we met
Yeah.
last year, or that's.
I'm thinking we'll be okay if we're around June 30th, if we come up with recommendations by June 30th.
And it'll be 5:30 where?
It'll probably be at our offices at Community Development in the parking lot.
Where we were before?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Up there on the third floor?
Yes, sir. Oh,
Metro,
it'll probably be there. I just have to discuss with management because we just finished installing a recording
Audio
system
here.
for the meetings at our conference room. And it just makes it just much more convenient for staff and everything, be able to have everything for you there. Have everything online, printouts, whatever we need to do.
So you're talking about our next meeting for June?
Well, the next one is May 15th.
May 15th.
Yeah, no, I know, but you were talking about the one after that.
Well, no, you would, after that, remember, you're gonna have all the applications and then you meet as necessary to review the applications.
Will the committee
So the
need the
applications-
applications on May 15th?
Yes,
On a
sir.
USB?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's
so
our-
on May 15th, that's when we would get the applications.
Yeah, free.
We'll get them on the 15th.
Yeah, for you to accept the
So
application.
you guys can give them on
And then-
that, some draft.
So,
a month later
if I
to
can make a
review.
recommendation to the board, Madam Chair, basically, maybe on the 15th, you decide on a schedule for review.
Okay.
That sounds
I'll make it a little bit simpler because I know it's pretty far out.
Would somebody like to second that motion?
I'll
Oh,
put
you
that,
did?
I'll so
Okay.
move. And there's a second, Ms. Helfrich, second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, moving on to the next, number 8.
Well, I'm sorry, before since we were on scheduling before, there's an application training on April the 8th. What are the details on that? Time, date, place?
Well, we can go back to the open item 5 minutes, so we can.
April 8th, okay, we're gonna have that
Okay.
application training.
Just so we can discuss it as an item.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna go back to item number 5, staff liaison report regarding third-party funding application process.
Go ahead, Mona.
Okay, we're gonna have that training at the Joey Guerra Library. We're gonna divide into 2 sections, one for hotel motel and one for general fund. We're gonna meet there at 9 in the morning. And as I previously said, I'm gonna have IT, I'm gonna have legal, I'm gonna have risk management, and myself to answer any questions for you.
We don't need to go to that. It's not done, something we need.
No, it's basically on the application process.
Have we ever had this training before? We've
Yes,
had it
every
before?
year.
I didn't remember it before.
Every year. it's
Not
been-
the committee, but the.
No, no.
Yeah, well, no, this
Every year
is.
it's been
Who are writing the
provided,
grants,
yes,
yeah.
to interested applicants.
Oh,
Any interested applicant is welcome to go.
And that's at 9:30?
At 9 in the morning.
9 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's a public library, the Joey.
Joey Guerra Library.
And again, I know that I sometimes harp on this, just make sure that you're keenly aware of the ethics ordinance. Because in case I know that a lot of us participate in, or assist or know people in these organizations and just to remain ethically sound. And all this process is ongoing, okay?
I've never talked to anybody about my activity here.
Okay, shall we go on to 8?
Madam Chair, we'd like to table that. We've talked to Metro on it, and we'll have further information for you further along. We might be asking the committee to come for a meeting somewhere in mid-April. But we'll let you know once we get more information from you.
Move to table.
Okay. And is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, number 9, discussion and possible action of request by Texas A&M International University Global Initiative seeking funding of $10,000 for training to nonprofit organizations.
We placed this item on the agenda for the committee's recommendation. It's been a while since we've done this in the past, and maybe, I'm talking at least maybe a few years back, I'm talking like 5+ or more years ago, there was an established contract with TAMU, and they would provide training to nonprofits to develop themselves and their members and board members on different activities related to nonprofits, everything from financial to leadership to et cetera. And so they would coordinate training and some speakers to come in, and the nonprofits were invited to go. They would get about $10,000 back then.
Well, does that come out of our budget?
Yes, that did come, well, that was back then. I'm not sure, I'd have to go back and look how that was funded. They have reached out to us again to see, what's forgive me, from the Center of
Global Initiatives from
Global
TAMU.
Initiatives from TAMU has reached out to the city and to see if we would be interested in doing that again for the nonprofits. And talking to previous management, because obviously this management, we just had a change of management a few weeks ago. We're under the understanding, as a staff here, that this funding potential would probably have to come out of the existing pot of money that we have for third-party funding for these entities. So that would be.
Well, Harry, so the council's not talking about increasing that budget, are they?
No, we were.
As of right
But they
now,
haven't increased it for a long time.
So the discussion?
We're just bringing it up to you all. If we want to, at the next meeting that we have for that FTA review contract, we can actually invite Tammy to come and present to you all. They had presented to us, and so we were already in discussion with them, but I said, you know what, I think the committee should make a recommendation since this is affecting the funding portion of it, and so we can have your recommendation on yes or no.
Are they participating in our application training that's gonna happen on the 8th of April?
No, they're not. At this point, there's no contract
There's no-
established yet, but I wanted to get the committee's input. Obviously, it would be a financial.
But this would be a separate event that they're gonna host at TAMU, or is it gonna be?
The way it worked in the past, and I kind of see it kind of functioning the same way, was the city entertained, they established a contract with TAMU with, I don't remember what center was, or with TAMU itself, and they gave us a schedule of like, let's say 5 or 6 trainings that they hosted, and they would invite the entities, and like part of our process was that one of those meetings counted as training for them to check off their blocks, because part of our requirements are that they attend 3 mandatory trainings for them. So it was just options for them to pursue educational training, financial assistance, board composition training. So it just depends on what recommendation the committee would also like to provide.
Why wouldn't they be submitting this as an application under the general funding that we normally
It
do?
wouldn't qualify as one of these
Why, it
activities.
supports education.
Well, I mean, if you all prefer to have it done like that, we can look at it.
I would, because, to take just 10,000 out of the pool immediately, I wouldn't support that. We're already so limited in that pool. I definitely wouldn't support that. I would say that they, like everybody else, need to submit an application, and if we agree with their application, then, we'll see how we can put it into the budget. But I don't see why they should have a special entrance to deliver something to us and ask us for something special that would take away from everybody else up to
I have no issue with that. I'm bringing it to the committee.
I think it's a double-edged sword, because yes, we could train these nonprofits to be better educated with the application process. But you know what? If we're not increasing the amount of money that we're going to dole out, why bring in even new entities that want money and dilute what the other ones get?
That's exactly my feeling now. Chairman, I make a motion that we have them just submit an application just like everybody else.
I second that.
Well, I would like to add before we vote on that, but I say they don't even submit an application, and we just have an agreement with the city, and between them, the inter-organization agreement, and they participate in our training, and we don't give them 10,000. That would be my personal thoughts.
Say that again?
That they just come into agreement with the city, and they come into our training, and their entity, they bring in their, we don't give them the 10,000. They just jump on, we keep the 10,000 and we help them facilitate their trainings, but we don't give them the money. I don't believe that
They would use that money to fund their organization and the scheduling and the
See, that's-
speakers and all that stuff, so that's how they would use it.
I personally think it's a duplication.
Yeah,
We
but-
really provide this.
This education that they're
Well, it's
providing,
for the nonprofit agencies.
And I want to make a comment. I do give out 2 trainings at least every year.
Mhm.
for nonprofits.
So,
Yeah, to nonprofits,
Ah.
out of the 3.
So is that sufficient enough for the requirements
No.
of their
Well, no,
training?
they need 3. They need
And then
3.
they can go to any professional training and
Yeah.
then they submit them too, so it
And then
doesn't
they submit it to
necessarily
me,
be ours.
and they'll be compliant with the contract.
And so do you provide them a list of the opportunities of where to get this training?
Well, actually, every nonprofit organization do have the ability to go into any, but actually.
They just require them that they submit their documentation.
Keep thinking about it, I don't think DAMU would be classified as a nonprofit, would it? So based on that, they couldn't apply.
I'm
Well,
not sure, sir.
We'll need to check it
We'd have
and
to-
confirm.
Maybe that Global Activities or something is a nonprofit.
We'll need to.
I don't
Because if they're not a nonprofit, they can't even apply. And if they can't apply, personally, I think there's enough training going on all over the place. I don't think we should dilute our money, you know? I mean, we have such a hard time giving it out as it is.
I wouldn't approve the motion on the floor, on the table. I would say that we just either rescind the motion or vote it down, and we just instruct the city to get in negotiations and have an inter-agreement between the 2 organizations. And we just work it that way, because I feel like.
Well, we wouldn't be able to
Sorry?
work anything else because there's no, they need the money to do,
Yeah.
so it'd either be a yes or a no kind of deal.
Well, there's a motion. and-
Well, the thing is I've already questioned something there, that if they're not a nonprofit, they can't apply anyway. And I don't think that they are. So I'll rescind my motion for right now. Okay, you rescind your second?
Yeah.
Okay, and so that, in that case, I'd make a motion that if Tanya doesn't want to come in free to help us with training, then, you know,
Community service.
we can't accept it. We thank them for their offer, though.
Second.
Okay?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much for your guidance and we appreciate your.
Thank you very much.
So, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Since this is being recorded, it makes your minutes a lot easier.
I'm gonna let the city secretary to.
Can you just make sure it's shut off before?
This is your pen?
Yes,
Because it's controlling your remote.
Oh, thank you.
business.
If anybody wants to remain here, leave, as long as we don't have any discussion on.
I'll take mine. I've already